Alrighty, we're back again and again and again and again. We're doing a lot of videos out here today on the birthday adventure because we are in Mowra, the town of which I came into this world as trade travel troopy, and I haven't been back here for over 30 years. Now I'm an adult, not a fetus or an infant. But they got this here park. In the park we have a gear. A decent sized gear. I would imagine this is a dragline walking gear, but we're about to find out. It's pretty cool. It's all in one piece, so yeah, no, it's kind of small. It's not the biggest gear I've ever worked on, that's for sure. It's a propel gear, so it is a dragline walking gear. This propel gear is part of the walking mechanism on the 7900 Marion dragline from Mowra Mine. It is believed to be one of the largest gears on display by Rotary clubs around Australia. So there you go, biggest gear on display in Australia. You can see the teeth here. It's definitely done some walking, and it has had a little bit of misalignment. You can see how this side is kind of more worn and more narrow than this side over here. And that's because the dragline is a heavy piece of equipment, and as the leg lifts it up off the ground, it's going to flex, and you can see, look at that plastic deformation there whole way around. Let's see, where's the worst worn teeth? At the top. Ooh, there's a couple of good ones over here too. Yeah. It's crazy because that's all hardened steel, although it's a big cast gear, still would have hardened all the teeth. But yeah, look how squishy squishy that steel is. I haven't dressed it or anything and just painted it. It's interesting. And one side is a lot more worn than the other because it's usually always walking forwards. It can walk backwards a little bit. Well, actually, when I say that, it's usually always walking backwards. It can walk forwards, etc. Yeah, I don't really know much about operating draglines. I know a fair bit about fixing them. That's really cool. So yeah, my current job, should I choose to accept it, is so here's the bucket, is repairing gears and gearboxes, and we'll get to that in just a second because what I currently fix is sitting over there in the park. And what we got here is a dragline bucket. So this is the scoop. Hangs out on rope, wire rope. This one's pretty small compared to most. So you can see the bucket out here, and boom, mast at the top here. Yeah, it's, well, they're a big machine, but that's a pretty small one compared to the ones I've worked on. Came off the 7900 Marion dragline at Mowra Mine. It was the first large-scale dragline to operate in Australia and was commissioned in 1962. Photo of the dragline bucket has a Toyota Ute parked inside with John Howes and his dog Ripper. So whether that was when it was here in the park or what, and they get repaired a lot. It's going to be lots of welding. You can see it's cracked, welded, gouged, plated. This whole bits and pieces, they replace as much of it as possible multiple times until it just gets beyond a point where it's just fractured all over, especially an old sucker like this. A real old one. The whole back of it would have been bowed out. Plenty of blokes have done a lot of repairs on this bucket over the years. I'm sure they've all got stories to tell about getting called out in the middle of the night. Oh, the bucket's ripped out the side again. Yeah, look at it. Wow. The whole back of it's cracked out. They're just like, come on. We've welded this heap of crap up. I'm sure they would have used different words than crap. We've welded this bucket of shit so many times. I think it's finally earned its keep. Down here where they put all the wear pads. So weld these on with hard facing rods, even those are all worn down smooth and ripped off and missing. You can see under here, this is where the rope's attached, all welded. It's pretty cool stuff. So I was looking if I could drive into this park, but I can't see where. I'm sure there'd be a spot to get in here and put my Toyota in here, but we don't need to do that. There's other ones at Blackwater, This one's at Mooroomba, and they're a fair bit bigger than this one. So yeah, I reckon this is a false floor. Yeah, it's full of concrete, so it's normally a lot deeper than this as well. Yeah, pretty interesting, the old dragline bucket. Now it's almost dark, so we've got to keep on moving. Look, it's even missing teeth. These ones are fully worn. It's meant to have replaceable tips. She's pretty flogged out, that bucket, that's for sure. Alright, so that there's the bucket. That there's the walking gear, or propel gear. And if you want to have a look at draglines, they're freaking pretty interesting. Big units, but not that much fun to fix. And then here we have some newer technology stuff. This is for the underground. And this basically hasn't really changed that much. Maybe gotten a bit bigger. I'd say it's gotten a fair bit bigger. The ones nowadays are a bit bigger than this. But this is basically still the exact same thing that I repair on a day-to-day basis. This normally has hardened, spiky teeth, for lack of a better word. Picks in that, and that spins and rotates and basically chews at a wall, and it'll just like scrape it all down onto the ground. And then you got these bits here, which is the gathering pot, the gathering gearbox. It'll scrape it all up and goes up onto that bit of chain, and that bit of chain goes the whole way through the middle, and it'll dump it out the back into a little truck unit called a shuttle car. So, and then it's got tracks. So I also repair this part here, sprockets, and the other end as well. There's the take up. This one's quite small. I've never seen one like this. And then yeah, you got your shuttle car here, and these are, oh, I guess the new ones are like a bit bigger and a bit different, but not by much. Definitely the same concept. And this would be made by Joy most likely, and this one I'm fairly sure it is, considering it says Joy on the wheel unit. These are a lot larger now, a lot more nuts and bolts holding your wheels on, and bigger wheels, stuff like that. But that one's leaking oil. They should have probably drained the oil out before they put it in the museum, in the fence here. And this is where you drive it from. So okay, these old ones have got like 2 seats, because it goes just forwards and backwards all day long. And this also has a chain conveyor. This is the gearbox. It does the chain conveyor just there. And so yeah, fill it all up, drive it to the other end, to the conveyor where it goes out of the mine hole. Here it tells you a little bit about it. This shuttle car was bought from Rio Tinto, Kestrel Underground near Emerald. It's transported to Mowra Rotary Park. It is similar to the shuttle cars that we used in number 2 and number 4. Shuttle cars are the workhorses of the underground mining system, receiving coal from the continuous miner and transporting it to an underground loading point. These machines hold up to 18 tonnes when full, and load and unload hundreds of tonnes of coal per shift, operating around the clock in the harshest of environments. Because they operate in limited ventilation underground environments, shuttle cars run on electrical power to avoid exhaust emissions. Yeah, so it's got a power cord. Both of these machines run on a power cord. Oh, you can go in here, look, if you want to. Oh, it's locked. Oh, we're gonna get going soon. And then the Lee Norse continuous miner. The Lee Norse continuous miner was a working machine in Mowra number 4 underground mine, and was donated to the Mowra Rotary Club put in the park. The continuous miner is a mining machine that produces a constant flow of ore from the working face of the underground mine. The machine continuously extracts as it is loading coal with a cutting steel drum and chain conveyor system. Continuous miners consist of a large rotating drum comprising steel and tungsten carbide teeth, the material with enough strength to scrape coal from the seam or face of the mine. The continuous miner rotates the oscillating steel drum to cut away designated sections of the coal bed. So you can kind of see it's got them picks there I was talking about, and basically the whole machine's just buried in coal, but it just keeps going, digging forwards So there you go, a bit like a Land Cruiser Troop Carrier 1989 keeps on keeping on forwards. If you want to come to Mowra, come and check this out. It's pretty cool. It's opposite a camp. You can stay in a donga over there and you can get paid a few grand a week and go and drive them buckets of fun and games. See you next time here at Trade Travel Troopy. Goodbye.